Trust in greed, for it is the virtue that drives progress. Trust in greed, for it is the cornerstone of discovery. Trust in greed, for it is the virtue of the hegemon. Welcome back, everyone, and to those who are joining us for the very first time, I bid you hello, and I hope that these entries will prove most enlightening. Today, we return to the Project Morningstar and the Directorate forces of the hegemon. In particular, this dossier will be focusing on the current director or leader of the entire armed forces, Director Akalon Voranu of the Armada. But before we begin this dossier, I am happy to announce that we have finally hit 250 subscribers on this channel. I recently put up a poll asking what you would like me to do to mark this occasion, so if you haven't already, be sure to vote on it. And by all means, if you would like to see this channel flourish even more, do leave a like and a comment to boost the algorithm. Every little bit helps. Now, without further ado, on to the video. This man, this paragon of the hegemon, has spent the last 50 fiscal cycles etching his name into the annals of hegemonic history as its most decorated commander. His journey perfectly embodying the valor of the pursuit of status. But what is most interesting about this figure is that he is respected by the Armada's opposite branch, the Army. A most interesting development indeed. But when you look closely into the context of the matter, you will find that it is to be expected, given that such respect was earned during a culling of an exigent population known as the Imbadi, who were attempting to resist harvesting. For during said conflict, the 74th Regiment of the Army was found without air support due to a budgetary error. And it would be Voranu, with his flight of interceptors, who would stage a daring flyover and halt the Imbadi advance with ordnance rated for the void engagements. Although he was later chastised and penalized for such expenses, he gained the support he would later need to become leader. But having such political support is all well and good. However, it is incomplete without a good public image. And Voranu understood that perfectly, for he maintained a network of hundreds of news correspondents from both major and minor outlets, also permitting them unfettered access to his operations with exclusive interviews to those who report correctly. And it would be these same reporters who would create the perfect environment for Voranu to make the complicated transcendence beyond celebrity within the Directorate and become a household name and accumulate sponsorships across the Execorp. Through a series of candid interviews and explanations of the Directorate's activities, every single aspect of hegemonic society has come to trust him fully and wholeheartedly. With generations of consumers being inspired by him to join every branch of the Directorate, while his regular broadcasts, typically while on campaign, provide insight into personal investment opportunities. With all this in mind, it should come as no surprise that his ascendancy to leader was unanimous amongst the authority and the Summit Council, and his efforts have not been disappointing, even as colonial efforts multiply. Especially as exogenic infestations and threats from non-hegemonic nations have been mercilessly contained. And even more importantly, he has successfully cultivated threats throughout the fringe and the edges of the Midworlds, influencing public opinion through the fear of the barbarian, as well as justifying resource demands and allocations to the Directorate and those macrocore who provide the soldiery with equipment and weapons. A series of forever wars which have made fortunes and have resulted in countless innovations, allowing for proper macrocore management of resources underutilized by nations both within and without the hegemon. All thanks to Voranu. And all of this is maintained through the Directorate estates on the Hyperion moon of Merkur. Though he rarely visits there, his second and third wives, a baroness of Amerson upper management and a matron of Five Hands Panceuticals, both live here and are said to be their husband's strongest advocates. While his first wife tends to stay out of the spotlight and is rumored to be serving as part of his flight crew. And though numerous offers have been granted to him, he has rejected every single opportunity for official positions within the hegemonic government, instead choosing to remain with the Directorate, leading from the front. And that concludes the content for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.